Hey everybody, this is Drink64 and welcome to my review for Trickstar. So, first off, I just want to note about this episode that this wasn't a very plot-heavy episode at all. In fact, it really wasn't. There are a couple of things in this episode that I feel could come back in the future, but probably not in this season. We'll get to them later on. But this episode was actually a lot of fun. I didn't enjoy it probably as much as Raid the Cave, but I definitely thought it was a very fun episode. So, this episode takes place at Sensei's birthday party, which I kind of guessed would be the case just from a screenshot that came out a while back. But yeah, we are at Sensei's 38th birthday party. Definitely looks like a 38th birthday party, 100%, and obviously his mother's thrown it, which just makes so much sense. I mean, it's freaking Sensei. What more do you want? I mean, I do like Sensei as a character. I think ever since the episode earlier in this season where they actually took time to look at his character and just develop it a little bit more was really cool. Really enjoyed that one. I do like Sensei now. More than I did with Season 1, so there is that. Well, we didn't really see much of him at all back in Season 1, but with the episode Red Belt, we got that a lot more, so there was that. So basically, for the party, Sensei has invited this new character called Presto Chango, and this guy's actually pretty cool. As a bad guy, not the best bad guy, but I think if he was to come back, which I think could possibly happen considering something that happens at the end, I think he could be a pretty interesting character. But basically he invites this magician called Presto Chango, who Star believes can do real magic like she can, whereas everyone else just thinks he's a normal magician who just does magic tricks that aren't really real. Which he does do, but then by saying his name, he somehow steals the joy from people, which I feel was kind of odd, but it was also pretty cool and kind of an interesting concept, so I definitely enjoyed it for this, especially at a birthday party. It makes sense that there'd be a lot of joy around there, so there is that. So basically, this Presto Chango gets caught by Star, and basically she threatens to kick him out, which he somehow convinces her to let him finish his show, which is really dumb. Just throw him out right off the bat, Star. I don't know why you don't do that. I also wonder why he didn't just use a trick on Star and take her joy, because it's Star. She has a lot of joy inside of her, clearly, so, you know, she's a very happy-go-lucky person, so there is that, so there's a lot of joy to take. So I am wondering why he couldn't do that. Maybe it was because of her magic. Maybe it could only be done on humans. I'm not 100% sure. That was a little bit weird to me. So he basically performs his magic tricks on Marco and some of the other members of the party. Then he goes on to do his full-on stage show after taking a hell of a lot of Sensei's joy. Like, Sensei was never really the most joyous person, at least in Red Belt and, you know, even at the end of this episode. So, you know, his mood kind of changes quite a bit, it seems like, but basically, Presto Chango goes to perform his final show, performing some other magic tricks, Star's still watching him, and he splits the Sensei into 3 sections. Now, usually, this is kind of weird actually, because usually when I see this sort of trick performed, it's usually done in 2 halves, which makes sense because, and spoilers here for those of you who actually don't know the secret behind this trick, but usually it's split in half, but the person inside of the casket is just sort of crouched, like inside of one of the halves. It's kind of weird, but it works. But the way they did it in this episode, it was split into 3 sections, so I don't know. I don't think that's ever been done. I've never seen it done. I don't think that can be done in real life with 3 sections. I think the reason it's 2 sections is because it works. One person can fit into one of the halves, so there is that. I don't know, I just thought that was a cool little tidbit in the actual episode. So then, for some reason, and I have no idea why this happens, this Presto Chango guy decides to steal everyone's joy anyway, even though he knows Star's there, he knows Star's watching, and is gonna attack him, so I gotta wonder, it feels like, to me anyway, it feels like some kind of addiction, like this guy's addicted to joy at this point, which, if you guys haven't heard of it, it reminds me of this game called We Happy Few, which actually focuses on like a drug called joy, so, you know, kind of links in with that sort of context where he seems addicted to the joy. He needs to take it no matter what, even though he knows Star's there about to probably attack him just for it. You know, he's still willing to go ahead and try to steal everyone's joy, which he then wholly admits to because Star's kind of being a dick in this episode and forces him to do so. So he admits to everyone, and then everyone's pissed at Star because they liked Presto Chango stealing their joy for some reason. I don't know, maybe he was just that good of a magician. Even though he wasn't really a magician, he was a joy sucker from another planet. It's really, really weird why they didn't side with Star in this one. Even Jana wasn't happy with Star in the background, so gotta wonder why. There's some things in this episode that didn't make a lot of sense to me, personally, but that's just me, anyway. And so then Sensei's still upset, and basically at the end of the episode, Sensei mentions that Presto Chango is locked in his trunk. I have no idea how or why. Maybe Sensei just threw him in there. Why or how, I have no idea. And he escapes, leaving only his hat. So basically this really leaves it open to interpretation what actually happened to Presto Chango. But personally, I believe he is going to come back in some form or another. Again, I don't think he's too great of a villain, but I do think there's a chance of him coming back, maybe next season, more than likely. I would like to see him come back, just to see what else he can get up to. Maybe just a little mischievous villain that we've got going on here, but it would be interesting. I say we'll see him again. Just personally, I do think we're going to see this guy again. It's going to be really cool. Overall, for this episode, I enjoyed it. I really did. I thought it was casual. I really liked the fact that we got Sensei 38th birthday, weirdest 38th birthday ever, but 38th birthday nonetheless. And I gotta admit, this episode was a lot more down to earth than Raid the Cave was, obviously to be expected, and I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I really thought it was a very decent episode and a very enjoyable one at that, and I hope all the episodes after these ones can follow in the same veins as these two, because the last two episodes have been really great. Raid the Cave, amazing episode, and this has also been a really fun episode, just enjoyable. Again, a couple things that I didn't really make sense to me personally. For example, why the hell Presto Chango didn't use magic on Star, and why the actual audience of the magic show didn't side with Star at the end of the episode. That made no sense to me, so maybe that's just me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below what you actually thought of this episode, what you thought of my ideas on the episode, and if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.